I've never taken any money out of it. Neither has my colleague Simon. Um,
This is a phenomenon that I see all of the time for successful 7 and 8 figure business owners who think they've got the Midas touch. Now, if you haven't seen this video from James May from Top Gear, go check it out. Um, James has done this. Richard Hammond has done this. And even Jeremy Clarkson has done this, along with a lot of other really successful people who have gone on to have ventures that have basically been passion projects that have lost money or have not made any money for them at all. And although these guys have done this in good faith, they're squillionaires and they've got kind of like that FU money position. I see this happen for many 7 and 8 figure business owners who think that they've got the Midas touch, that they've got a successful business in one particular area, and they think that every other opportunity that they pursue is going to turn to gold. And they're often met with a very, very harsh reality. In many cases, they end up cannibalizing the profits from their main business by subsidizing all of these other ventures. They end up doing more harm than good. Now, we saw a situation with a particular individual who did this. They had a great business, had scaled up to multi seven figures, and it was their first business. They'd put in, they'd just got really, really lucky. They had a great business at the right time in the market, had executed on it very well, not to take anything away from them, but they rested on their laurels and they thought that they basically were God's gift to business and essentially sat on their hands, phased themselves out of the business, and were taking a significant amount of profit out of that business and then funneling it into other things. Started funneling it into crypto, finally get into developments in Bali, buying rundown hotels, and just all of these stupid ideas that essentially had no basis. They had absolutely no right to go and do these other things. But just because of their main successful business, they thought that they had the right. And the permission to go and do all of these other things, and just by default, they were going to be just as successful. Now, the biggest enemy to you and your future wealth is actually yourself. And your success in your business becomes the double edged sword that could plague you in trying to create wealth elsewhere. And it's really, really important that you create a system for pragmatically allocating your capital the more successful you are in business. But I'm sure you've experienced the lifestyle creep, right? Your expenses have gone up as you've continued to grow your business. You've just continued to adjust the benchmark of the life that you want to live. And for this reason, even though you're making more money, you don't necessarily have more to show for it. And this happens in the world of investing as well. So there's a couple of things that we need to get in place. One, we need to make sure that we've got a cash flow structure, both personally and in the business, that ensures that we put surplus and profit aside first, and that we're allocating that to the right places and we spend what is left. Two, we need an investment operating system. This is a very robust set of rules that govern how we allocate capital, the types of investments, and the criteria that those investments must have. And where possible, we want to automate and systemize the allocation of that capital so we keep the emotion and the knee jerk response out of it. And as part of that, we only have a fraction of our overall investment strategy that goes into speculative ventures that could potentially lose us money. Because, as Warren Buffett says, rule number one is don't lose money. Rule number two is don't forget rule number one. And so many successful entrepreneurs forget this and they get reckless around their investments, try to swing for the fences. And then the third part is that we need to have a roadmap to follow because ultimately, if you want to create financial freedom outside of your business and you want to be able to provide generational wealth to your family, there is a path that we need to take to get there. And by having a path that we follow, it helps keep us on track. It helps us evaluate opportunities, and it ensures it protects our ability to navigate opportunities that get thrown at us. Because the more successful that I've got in my business, the more successful my clients get in their businesses, the more opportunities that are presented to them. And you need to get very, very good at saying no to the wrong opportunities quickly so you don't burn precious bandwidth trying to evaluate those decisions. And you need to be able to work out what are the right things and how much you allocate to those things that align with your investment operating system. So, this is a really valuable lesson that even the wealthiest people in the world make emotional mistakes. You can invest in pubs if you want, as long as that doesn't detract from your ability to create financial freedom and isn't going to adversely impact the things that matter most to you. This is about making educated and informed decisions, not being reckless. Let me know your thoughts.